Cloud 9000.
What's happening, people? Welcome to another episode of the Everything 9000 podcast. Welcome, Amrit. We've got Amrit Squared here with us. What are you saying, boys?
The more intelligent Amrit on the right side.
Well, we are doing a quiz later today, actually.
Who's the quiz master? Master of the quiz?
You know, you lost one round, didn't you?
I didn't lose any round, mate.
He lost against...
He did, didn't he?
Yeah, of course, I lost against you, yeah.
No, against you.
Right, yeah, of course.
You did?
Why is that offensive, man? You've triggered him.
You're late.
You're not being yourself. You're not being yourself today. What have you done to him?
Yeah, he's triggered. He's triggered.
He got triggered. Well, I wasn't even here and he was triggered already. My man was phoning me every 2 seconds.
Yeah, you were late. Do you want to acknowledge that you were late?
Yeah. What's wrong? I said 5-ish and I came before 5:30. That's still within the realm of 5-ish.
Is that what you actually think?
That's toxic masculinity right there.
No, do you actually think that? When you say 5-ish, is that what you
so
think?
when somebody says ish, is it not between like that?
5-ish means 5 past, 10 past, max.
No, it's between 5 and 5:30. It's 5-ish.
Wait, tell me you're taking the piss.
What can we say, man? This guy...
No, whoa. Are you actually
What is your definition of 5-ish? My definition...
5-ish means, for me, should I be honest? 5-ish for me means 4:50 to 5:10.
Right. For me, it's 5 to 5:30.
How is that 5-ish? That's 5 to 5:30 then?
Yeah.
Well, what that is? That's 5:30-ish?
Yeah, so it's between 5, isn't it? Like, it's anywhere between 5-ish.
Bro, when you give someone a time, you don't give them an hour.
No, but I gave you 5-ish. I gave you like half an hour frame.
What's your 5-ish?
About
7.
5:15? Maximum 5:15.
Max 5:15.
So this is the guy that, last time we met up, obviously, we said to each other, we'll meet at 8 o'clock at this certain point B. My man turns up at 9:30.
We can talk about this now because that video will be out by the time.
9:30.
So when we went camping.
And then the first thing I see when I open the door of his car, it's got Mackies in there. So he stopped.
You know what, Amma? That is something that we haven't acknowledged since, actually, and I think we should. So you were very late for the meeting point. We had a videographer ready. We had Harvey ready, production. We had Amrit there, me there. We're all waiting.
We had the cars loaded.
We called you.
And you're like, 10 minutes.
And you were at B&Q picking up some Bunsen burner, which never got used and got returned, right? And when you rock up, there was Mackies.
So you knew you were late, and then you said, you know what?
I knew I was late, right?
And then you still
decided to delay.
And you still decided to get Mackies in?
Yeah, because every time that I turned up for the podcast,
yeah.
Right, you guys are always late.
I'm never late. Can we acknowledge that I'm never late?
I'm just putting it out there.
No, but I have to say, getting a Mackies, that's a bit shameful.
100%. Because people like him...
What's going on?
Why should I continue to...
And on the way there, I'm like, and then when we're on the drive there, I'm like, I'm quite hungry, man. We should stop for breakfast. He's like, nah, I'm alright. See, that is... I have to say, that's fucked.
Okay, no, but he's fucked.
No, 100% he's fucked. Exactly. But he gets it as well. So you have to get it for this.
That's one-off.
That was never a one-off.
No, because if it was just the Bunsen burner, right, which in itself was fucked that you were getting the morning off, but then you stopped to get a Mackies. That's actually crazy.
The fact when
if you think about the video, we put that tent up at like 5:30 in the evening because we got there late.
Yeah.
And we were meant to do it before. But John.
And the fact that he was saying, I'm just around the corner.
I'm just around the corner.
He said that about 4 times.
How did it make you feel, right?
No, I didn't make me feel anything because there was other people. But you got triggered this time, mate.
What's going on this episode, man? This is like every month for themselves, man. What's going on?
So,
listen, can we start the episode?
One sec, if I look at history. Incoming call from Ammo. Today, here we go. Incoming call 5.
By the way, you're chewing them. You sound like you're sucking. So you need to take that out.
You like that, yeah?
I don't.
So, missed call 5:15, declined call 5:15, missed call 5:16, incoming call that I answered 5:22.
Yeah.
Declined call 5:27, declined call 5:27. Can I just ask, why were you so triggered differently today?
Right. Look who's keeping receipts.
No, receipts today. Listen, enough of your bitching, yeah.
Timestamp.
Let's get into some topics, right? We've got a lot of topics. I don't know if we should start with the important news one, but do you know what? I'm just going to go with what's here first, which is wedding descends into bloodbath as 2 teens beaten to death after row over Roti. This happened in India. True story.
Is that actually real?
2 teenagers were found dead. Yes, the Mirror has reported this. So
The Mirror.
The Mirror. So
It's a tabloid.
It's a tabloid, yeah, but it's a true story because there's comment from family. But the 2 teenagers were found dead and believed to be beaten to death after an argument over tandoori rotis at an Indian wedding descended into anarchy. The alleged victims, named Ashish and Ravi, 17 and 18, were bludgeoned to death by a group of men after a minor scuffle at the wedding celebration, police said. Right.
Mad.
After some roti, bro, like, what's going on here, man?
Firstly,
another relative added, how fragile have our tempers become? Because at weddings, by the way, in India, it's a different thing.
It's like the pizza stand at a wedding in India, mate, is different.
Why?
It's like, it's all hell loose. Like, you have to literally take a kid and be like, oh, can the kid let us get a pizza? And that's how you get a pizza. Like, you just take 2 at that time.
Wait, as in what you're trying to say is they're like McDonald's employees that don't want to give ketchup.
No, as in like, it's when you get to the pizza stand, everybody's going to crowding it.
Right.
And you have to push through. And,
so it's like a mini brawl.
Mini brawl at pizza stand. Every wedding I've been to in India.
Really?
Yeah, and pizzas are dead there, bro. Like,
pizzas are dead there.
Yeah, like pizza.
What I was going to say is, Indian weddings are notorious for, only to be busy because he was hitting on my wrist with that.
Yeah.
You know, them friends that are there. You know this one, innit? Go on, Aman, tell us about that, man. What happens?
Well,
he's the person that's normally slapped. So you can't really say.
no, I'm the person giving you the slap.
Great save, mate. Good save.
But this is taking that wedding debacle to another level. Bro.
Yeah, it's, you know what it is? Like, our tempers are very fragile as Indians, I think. That's one thing, definitely.
I feel like Indians in India take it to a different...
No, that's what I mean. There's no sort of accountability. There's no sort of realizations of the consequences of your actions. That clearly shows it. If you're going to start a scuffle over some tandoori roti, that's going to lead to death of 2 young people. That's just different level.
That's crazy.
That's like carelessness and ignorance at a level not known to man.
But did they really die with the roti? The roti could have been the starting.
No, as in like, I think what's happened is like, when you get into scuffle, like, oh no, I'll take that roti, because with Indian weddings, especially when it comes to naans and roti and stuff, they cook it as they like people take it. Is with their weddings in India, it's always like a buffet type. You go up and you sort of like get your food from there, rather than the UK. Our weddings are more so like you're served on the table, aren't you?
I can imagine though, if I'm waiting in queue.
Listen,
but I just take a step back for a second in it because I'm like, oh, how you doing, bro? You good, yeah? Well, go on. I'm going back to the stand. All of a sudden, next man has come to the stand now, and he feels he's ahead of me in the queue. And that is going to piss me off.
Indians love, like, skipping queues.
Yeah.
If there's one thing, Indians don't have patience.
There's been viral content of this Gora that's been travelling over in India, and he's always been to, like, an office. I don't know if you've seen them, but he's standing in queue. He's like a proper scouser. He's like, what the fuck you doing, mate? Yeah, you can get to the back. Yeah. You're not getting past me. What you doing, mate?
And even if they queue right up against you, like, behind you. Like, you go to a train station.
There's no sense of boundaries.
There's no boundaries. No sense of, like, personal space,
sense of order.
Yeah. And then even like the weddings, when you go to the Indian weddings, right? Auntie are the worst, man. Sometimes, like, they'll just push in. It'll be like, auntie, just go ahead. It's fine. Don't worry. The amount of times
I can see you doing that.
Why,
sure, bitch?
No, because I always just stand behind, like, take your time.
You love standing behind aunties.
You love that desi auntie.
Right. But, staying on wedding content.
But that's nuts, though.
I've got a few wedding contents, yeah.
Yeah, what would you do if this transpired at your wedding?
My wedding?
Not murder, but like, imagine like a scuffle for like...
As if it's you, murder's calm.
Right, okay. No, jokes aside, what happens if me and Amal get into a scuffle over pizza at your wedding?
Over pizza? I could see that.
100%.
I could see that. There's the last pepperoni slices there.
No, I wouldn't go for that.
You think it's a vegetarian pepperoni.
Right.
And he thinks it's pepperoni. And he sees your hand going for it. He slaps your hand. And are you telling me you two haven't got into scuffles at previous weddings?
No, the previous track record is that over water.
No, that was...
You had a scuffle over water, but at a wedding...
It wasn't provoked by...
He was holding a glass of Coke, and you chucked a pillow at him. The Coke went all over him, and he had the biggest bitch fit I've ever seen in humanity.
He just took it like a bitch. So there's no fire, there's no murder, he just takes it.
Are you gonna take that?
No,
I feel like if that happened at my wedding, and I would egg on and remind you that I'm ready. You remember? Do you remember? He would just say that you took that. Are you gonna take that like
Right.
bitch?
No.
Because this time your wife would be there.
Right.
Like all of our friends would be there, family. I feel like that happened in a closed room. This would be in front of all of my friends and family. Like tensions would be like you can just imagine a glass smashing or something. It goes quiet.
But do you not remember a glass being smashed then?
I would ASAP text the DJ. I would ASAP text the DJ, yo, turn the volume lower. Right? So you can imagine it gets tense. Everyone's looking now. I'll be like, I'm ready. You can take that.
Yeah.
What's your response?
My response would be, I'll dish it out whatever he gives. I'd have to do it.
So, okay, I'll tell you what, yeah.
No, or I could go for the Gandhi approach. If he slaps me on this cheek, I'll put that second cheek.
Wait, which cheeks are we talking about?
You know?
So if he slaps you on the cheek,
Yeah.
you're going to say, slap me on the other cheek.
Yeah.
Look at him.
I'm sorry, but that can't happen at my wedding.
No, it's gonna
I'm
happen.
going to have family members there. You can't do it.
I like that. He's come to a quick resolution on the topic. There'll be no fun.
I love how your first, recourse to action was taking it like a bitch.
Right. No, that's fine. If that's what you call it, but I call it like
You call it what?
non-violence means resolution. Non-violence resolution.
Right. So I think you should give a course in India
Right.
to the youth, yeah?
I think I should.
Non-violence means, by Amrit, right? जो कोई थप्पड़ लगाए ना, दूसरा गाना आगे करो.
Yeah, 100%, bro. Do you know what they say? An eye for an eye makes everybody blind, you know?
A cheek for a cheek. That should be your Instagram page.
Yeah.
Hashtag.
मारो मुझे.
Yo, what's going on, man? Look, if we get through the topics.
But we were talking about that wedding thing, right? So can we acknowledge the fact that Aman goes to a wedding, gets absolutely licked differently,
He does.
right?
He does.
And not only that,
Can confirm.
just because there's free alcohol, do you not think like Indians sometimes think if there's free alcohol that they must drink all of it?
100%. Not a lot of Indians, but there's some.
Like if there's a bottle for free,
Yeah.
that basically means to them that it has.
Didn't he at your wedding make you go get a bottle for him?
Not my sister's wedding. He's like, oh,
No, but he took it away. He says, "Oh, it's for my family." Never returned with one. Man, will shagan dete hain.
Bro. Man, to be more than one.
my man kept saying, "Yo, Amrit, go give me the JD." I was like, "Fuck off, man! Sit back down. You got the vodka."
That is true. He gave you sugar. He has technically paid for a bottle. Like that, there should be consideration there.
Okay, so in that case, I'm going to give you sugar at your wedding, right? Or
Yeah.
a gift or anything, so I can take and request anything off you for that wedding.
If you request a bottle, I'll give you a bottle.
No, but I don't drink, so I'm going to have to.
I'm with you. He wouldn't take away any bottles if honestly provide a bottle as well. That's the level of host.
Yeah. It's just a status.
Okay, so we will
Thank you. I'm not.
Now, jokes aside, can we talk
We're not
about...
joking.
No. Can we not...
Why are you not letting me move on with this, man?
No, because we want to talk about my man here.
Okay, fine.
Right? Because you alluded to that wedding when, things were kicking off. Things were a bit tense.
Right.
Right? We have one of those Indians amongst ourselves, who, as I said,
Yeah.
if they see free alcohol, it's like a license to finish the bottle. That's
Right.
what they see, like
Right.
nothing else.
Right.
Right?
So what we've got on Amber, get to the point.
So my man was so licked. We were upstairs
Right.
and I was just there minding my own business. Obviously you were just sat there as well. We're just chilling.
We're chilling. Aaron is also there.
Aaron was also there. Again, he was just chilling. Although he was
posing for a picture.
But he was
licked.
But what had gotten into you that day that you just...
So just to give the viewers full context here.
We're in a really nice
We're in some
state room.
bougie wedding hall, like you usually are at some bougie ass ends, right? We're in some upstairs room. We probably shouldn't be there, right? I'm in some next armchair with some cushions or whatever.
Same.
Somehow, a cushion transpires to be in Amo's hand. He's absolutely lick off. Amrit is at this point drinking a Coke, full fuck, by the way. And Amo, he takes one look at Amrit and says, "Amrit, you fucking pussy." Chucks a pillow at him. That goes all over him.
White shirt. At the wedding.
At the wedding. And
Right.
you just got, that is the definition, you got triggered.
I saw red and I took the glass in my hand at him.
You chucked a glass at him and you broke the glass.
And it smashed into pieces at his feet.
That's fucked.
That's provoked. Not provoked.
That's fucked. So actually, I'd forgotten that you broke that glass.
No, not only that, I obviously immediately I calmed myself down.
Right.
We sort of like, I washed myself off, whatever, dried myself off.
No, but you had that flash of anger.
No.
That happened at this Roti wedding.
Yeah, right. And then, as we were leaving, we had to drive back to Birmingham. We're obviously in your car.
Yeah.
And what was he?
So obviously, I was designated driver, as I usually am, right? Because you hadn't passed your test then.
Yeah.
Right. And him and Aaron were absolutely licked.
Licked on probably.
Yeah.
Out of 10 probably licked out.
And it's like, when I finally drag everyone out and it's like that awkward silence where obviously I'm a bit vexed because I'm dealing with like these fucking kids now. Right.
Not just you.
And him and Aaron are all fucking buzzing, merry, walking like this. You know what I mean? Like, not walking in a straight line. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? And then these are the actions of the people that are licked.
Can I just say from next month?
Yeah.
And then Amel has a bright idea.
Yeah.
And he insists that
let me just say it. It's literally, we have this walk to the car, probably
really tense.
3 minutes plus of like total silence between us because we all know it's a bit of a fuck situation now. And these guys are slowly realizing that it's still daylight
and they're lit
and they're fucked out their head. And they know that they need to show their face to their parents when they get home. So that realization is setting in that they need fresh air, which is probably hitting harder now with the alcohol, but they also need water to like just chill out a bit or a little mini nap. But at that point, after 3 minutes plus of complete silence, I just hear, Aman, do you want to drive?
Not only that, he was insisting he drives.
Not only that, I have to say, that triggered me. I did not say anything or provoke a response, which is probably what you should do the next time, right? And this Tandoori Roti incident, I controlled my anger. Right?
Bro, looks could kill.
It looks could kill. Is he dead? Maybe 7 feet under.
You didn't even acknowledge my man.
Yeah.
He kept saying, yo, Aman, I'm actually fine. Let me drive.
Yeah. Yeah.
The moment he sat in the car, he knocked out.
Yeah. He knocked out. Yeah, all right. Stop that. Listen, we need to carry on with this. Yo, I saw this clip. I actually wanted to comment on this, and it's very fitting as to what we were talking about just now. So,
can you read Punjabi?
I don't know what the fuck.
Can you read Punjabi?
So this guy, that's his mama, by the way, behind it. Obviously, they're just posing for pictures and that.
ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਬੈਠੇ ਲੋਕ ਹਟਾਉਣ ਦੀ ਥਾਂ ਲੱਗੇ ਹੱਸਣ ਦੋਸਤੋ ਅਕਸਰ ਹੀ ਵਿਆਹ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਈ ਵਾਰ
doing his cheeks and that.
ਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਵੱਡੇ
And there's that flash of anger.
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਵੀਡੀਓ
his mama.
ਦਰਅਸਲ ਜਦੋਂ ਵਿਆਹ
Why is that funny? Like, you should be laughing, man.
I wasn't even laughing. You're the one laughing.
Fucking disrespect, man.
I'm not even laughing. You're the one laughing.
You just said,
so that is precisely the flash of anger that we're talking about. That happened at that Roti incident.
This was Amon.
And this guy, he's sitting at his wedding. He's sitting on the throne here. His mama comes behind him. Oh, I'm going to love you. You got married. It's like, mama, chill the fuck with that. Yeah? You not see big man's in attire right now, yeah? Like that, we're not at yard. He does it again. Right? And he does it 3 times and he slaps mama in front of relatives. That's that. Do you think that's on?
Do I think that's wrong?
On.
That was wrong,
yeah.
If it was Amrit, he'd get his other cheek ready.
Yeah.
Maro mujhe.
So you'll take it from, you're the mama, you'll say, hit me again.
You would.
Is that what you do?
I wouldn't be the mama to fucking move out and like, if I'm messing about and you said, oh, stop please, and I would stop.
No, imagine that's Amo's son. Right, you're his mama. You see him, you're like, oh, this little fucking prick. I know his dad's just sitting right there. Don't worry about this. I'm in a little buja. He's like, yo. He thinks you're a cunt. Because he's got information from Ammo that has confirmed that you're a cunt.
Okay.
Right. He's like, I'm not taking this from this cunt in front of my family.
Yeah.
And my new ting.
Yeah.
My new wife.
Okay.
Right. And
Or
you're going to little bro me.
Or husband. New husband. Could be husband. You were just assuming the sexuality of Amel's unborn kid yet. That's
right. I thought you meant the video. But okay, now I get it. Fair. In that case, fair enough.
If he has mummy like you around, then probably.
So, it could be his wife or husband, but carry on.
Right. So, yeah, in front of the new partner, right? and he slaps you, right? What are you doing in that instance now, knowing that it's Amo's son?
No, as I said, I would obviously...
No, honestly, knowing it's Amo's son.
Yeah, I would put my second cheek forward. You know what? Do it again.
Yeah, you said to put your second cheek forward. Are you going to let your
I'll
son...
take that opportunity.
And then if he does it again, I'll do the other one again. And then if he does it until the point that he thinks, okay, you know
But
what?
yo, what would you do if after he puts his cheek forward, what would you do if your son, at his wedding day, starts taking Amrit's cheeks?
What do you mean taking them?
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They're taking them cheeks in front of all your relatives.
Get taken hard. My photographer no bula.
So that's my response. I would put the second cheek forward. Now, if imagine Amo, you're the man in that situation. What's your reaction?
I'd take your cheeks as well.
No, come on, you can't. You've got to answer me now properly. I've given a proper answer.
You've given a proper answer, yeah. You're at Amrit's son's wedding, yeah. Somehow his son has managed to find a partner, and then you're at this wedding, and you see Amrit's son. You're like, this prick, right? Absolute twat. You finally sat here. Look at you. Yeah, you little bro him. He doesn't take it. You little bro him again. He doesn't take it. You little bro him one last time, and he absolutely clarts you on your cheek, right? What are you doing in that instance?
How can she slap?
Are you gonna tandoori roti?
100%.
You're gonna tandoori
He's
roti.
going down.
Yeah.
I'm bringing him down with me.
Right.
The wedding's getting turned up.
Right. Well, anyway, next video we need to react to. We're gonna get to some serious topics, by the way. Yeah. But next video we're gonna react to, and I feel like Amrit, you might get triggered by this one. Yeah. So this was going viral.
There's a video making the rounds online, and it sparked quite the conversation. It shows an Indian woman on the London Underground near the Canada Water area, sitting on a packed train. She's calmly eating what appears to be rice and curry, or maybe biryani, straight out of a container with her bare hands. What makes it stand out even more is that she's also speaking loudly on the phone while doing it, completely relaxed, almost like she's sitting in her own living room. Now, for a lot of people watching this video, especially in the West, this might look bizarre or even shocking. But the truth is, in many parts of Asia, especially in South Asia and parts of the Middle East, eating with your hands is completely normal. It's not considered unhygienic or rude. In fact, many people believe it enhances the taste and connects you more with the food.
One, it does.
Mixing rice with curry and eating with the fingers is a deeply cultural and even comforting habit for many.
That's all good and well, yeah. But Amo, you're on the tube and you see that. What are you saying?
Firstly, by the way, eating with your hands is...
This guy, I love how this guy agrees with everything. Like,
The only thing I didn't agree was the phone.
The best, most manly thing to do.
Yeah.
No, the only thing I didn't agree was with like talking loudly on the phone, because that's one of my icks when somebody in public transport speaks loudly on the phone or have their music playing, right? So I disagree with that wholly.
Right.
But the fact that you're eating food, I mean, if somebody was eating their fries, right, or a burger, how many times do you see...
Do you know what the difference is?
What?
Between fries and burgers. They don't stink out the whole tube.
Do they not?
No. Fries don't, no.
So,
Fries.
the amount of times I've come back from London and the people that can jump on with a Burger King and it fucking stinks the whole cart out. The train cart.
Well, then they're wrong.
So you
But if
saying
it's just
that,
fries. No, I said fries.
You know, you saying burgers and fries don't stink. That's another thing, right?
Okay, fair enough if a burger stinks. that
Burgers
bad.
and fries do smell, right? But not to the extent that a curry smells.
Yeah, if
really.
you bring in like fish or curry, like that's
No,
crazy.
fish is different, but like biryani doesn't smell that much.
It does.
Biryani's is
It can.
rice.
It can, and it
Biryani
does.
does smell.
It just smells just as much as a burger would.
It doesn't.
It
It's
would.
got
A Burger King would.
No,
It does,
no,
Nate. It does.
That torka is lingering in cabin C.
Yeah, and it's nice. It's a nice smell.
Nice for you.
Yeah.
It's not nice for everyone else.
Okay, great.
Yeah, if you're in India, yeah, maybe you can do it.
Yeah.
But you're in the UK.
She's not in India. Do you admit that she's not in India?
Of course she's not.
So should
So
she be
should Indian
adhering?
people not have Indian food in the UK?
Not the tube when you're travelling, no.
Right, okay. But
Not
she's
when the
alright to have
passengers
a-
next to
okay.
you don't necessarily want to smell what you're eating.
Okay, but then she'd be okay if she ate a burger.
But looking at her mannerisms, right, do you think that it is a bit obnoxious?
It's not. I think it's a bit obnoxious in the sense that she shouldn't be so sort of...
She's moving like she's at yard.
She is a bit, yeah, I get it. But I think the whole picking on the thing where she's eating food with her hands, that's just nonsense, I think. That's just complete nonsense. People eat with their hands. And in fact, majority of the foods that you eat is eat with your hands, right?
It's not.
Of course it is. How do you eat roti? With a knife and fork?
Knife and
right, okay, yeah, that's fine. How do you eat a burger? How do you eat chips?
Knife and fork.
Right, okay. Right. How do you eat a pizza?
Not literally knife and fork.
No, I've got video of you. Literally, there's video of you on Cloud Page 9000 eating a pizza out of your hand.
What page was that? Sorry.
Cloud 9000.
Okay. Yeah. Nah. Okay. Fair enough on
this whole thing. You can't pick on the
fair enough on the hands bit.
But yeah, the fact that she's speaking loudly on the phone, that's like, yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But yo, your boy Chris Brown has been in jail.
Jeez, that's mad. He came to the UK, man, got locked up.
Brown comes to the UK. Amo is already serenading him at the airport. So he's looking at his flight. He's like, "You gotta show me love."
It wasn't.
See, this is what he's doing at Heathrow.
In fact, I had his flight on
And then he's going Hounslow straight after.
Yo, but I don't get people's obsession with Chris Brown.
Same.
I don't.
I do feel like ever since the whole like Rihanna beating allegations and whatnot.
Not allegations, actual evidence.
Proof, right? Yeah.
Like he's even admitted it. Like, you know, you can't even say
he's
it's
apologised for it several times. You know what? There has been a distaste in my mouth, and you know, like I do try and avoid his music. It is a bit hypocritical because I'll probably, you know, listen to an MJ song here or there and whatnot. But what can you do? Right? Yeah. Art is art. But how do you feel about the whole situation?
Obviously, I think it's fucked. But you can't get away from the fact that Chris Brown is still one of the best R&B artists alive.
Yeah.
No, but that's fine.
If he walked in here right now, what would you do?
Grind.
How about this situation?
Dude, yo, can we just acknowledge there was no hesitation there?
What did he say?
He had his answer locked and ready. Grind.
Oh, okay. Right. How do you feel in that situation where somebody that you genuinely sort of like admire and care for their music is arrested for things like this? Do you feel like a conflict when you listen to
music? What was he actually arrested for this time?
I think there's allegations of assault or something like a few years back, and there's been like a warrant out for his arrest for this whole time, and then he just came back.
But didn't he tour like last year?
I don't think he did he?
He did, yeah.
He did.
So why?
It might have been last year in that case. It might have been. So I don't know how long it's been, but
you must know what the story is.
I actually don't know the full.
The only article I read, it said about like an assault.
But obviously, we know that it happened in the club, and there's some
Manchester. I think it was in Manchester, wasn't it? So I don't know when it happened. I presume last time he came to the UK.
I think it just happened this time.
It was last time.
It was last time. And then he just went, and then he got arrested at the airport, didn't he, or the hotel? I don't know.
That's crazy. But the content online, the memes and stuff about people singing to him in the cell block for Chris Brown, has been off the charts.
Oh, really?
It's been off the charts.
Has he not been billed yet? I think he's been billed, has he?
It was like 5 million or something.
Yeah, he's been billed at 5 mil.
Yeah, fucking details coming out left, right, centre.
he went with the bonds there.
He went with his mortgage deed.
That's what I was just about to say, mate. My man sold his PS5.
I've got an Xbox, mate.
But yeah, answer his question. How do you feel about like his past, and how does that
conflict
with you being a super fan?
You know, it's controversial. I don't really agree with any of what he's done.
Of course,
whether it's assault or whatever, domestic violence, etc.
Yeah. But
he is still one of the greatest people in terms of R&B.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't take that away from him. He's still very entertaining to watch. You know, still.
But would you go pay and would you pay and go watch his concerts? Would you like financially contribute?
Of course, you would.
Would you do that for P Diddy, for example?
Not for P Diddy, because I don't think he's a good artist.
Okay, I'll give you a genuine scenario though. Yeah, if you know P Diddy's in like Manchester Courthouse or whatever, or in Birmingham High Court, yeah, and
Birmingham Crown Court, there's no.
Birmingham Crown Court, and a member of his team come up to you and say, "Yo, if you wear this free Diddy T-shirt, I would pay you $20 an hour."
Because that's happened, hasn't it? There was outside the courthouse.
Would you do it?
No.
One day, $20 an hour. How much money is that? If you do it 10 hours, that's $200. Just call it pounds. £200 for a diary. That's not
all
bad.
you gotta do is wear a shirt and just hang outside.
All you gotta do is wear a black T-shirt that says "Free Diddy,"
and you're just gonna hang outside the court. That's it.
Listen, if I was in need of money, I probably would.
Yeah,
but no.
Would you do it?
No, I wouldn't.
But you're not doing anything wrong.
No, I know you're not doing anything wrong, but
it's free money though, no?
Yeah, but
so you'd turn down free money?
In that sense, I would, yeah, because you've got to be outside the courts. It's not like it's free money in the sense that you can just go.
You can wear a balaclava. Your identity will be hidden.
Right? Yeah, no, I wouldn't do it.
Even if you could hide your identity, there'd be no repercussions.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do it.
I'd do it for 10 days, 2 bags.
Right.
Listen, if we're just being honest, innit? Like, I feel like that's £2,000. The trial is an 8-week trial. So 8 weeks, 5 days, 40 days, right? If you do 40 days, and how many hours a day? We said 10 days. 10 days, that's 400 hours. If you times that by 20, you can make 8 grand.
It's cute.
Do you reckon he has that budget?
For each, well, obviously he has that budget. My man's
For
millionaire.
like, let's say about 100, 200 people.
Yeah. He's paying more than that on his, second solicitor's court fees.
And like NDAs and stuff.
He looks aged, doesn't he? Have you seen some of the recent pictures?
Yeah, I can't lie. I saw some of the stories coming out of that.
Have you seen the footage of
He
the
must
hotel?
be like fighting for his life.
No, the hotel footage is between him and Cassie.
Yeah.
That has a
seen it.
statute of limitations and cannot be tried because it was from too many years ago.
Yeah.
But that is...
Paints a picture of his character.
The jury for this case has been told to disregard the evidence. But how are they going to disregard
You can't unsee something that you've seen.
But do you know what? I feel like that is the biggest piece of evidence that paints a picture of his character that will probably... the jury's going to do him. It's just... Some of the stories that have come out are crazy.
Yeah.
Did you hear some of these stories, by the way?
I've not looked too much into it.
If I tell you one story, you won't believe it.
So I've just been reading what's in the news mainly, but that's it.
He hired, I think, a male prostitute from something's called Craigslist. He hired someone, and obviously when him and Cassie were in a relationship, he made that male prostitute, I'm going to bleep this,
Right.
He rubbed that guy's on his own nipples.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, that's not illegal, is it?
No, of course it's not. But it's fruity.
It's fruity.
It's every single story that's coming out is fruity. He had beef with Kid Cudi because Kid Cudi was allegedly seeing Cassie at the time. I think there's reports of him sneaking into Kid Cudi's house in 2011 or something and opening all the Christmas presents before Christmas Day.
That's
like mad, crazy stuff. There's just it's just you won't believe what's happening. But obviously this is all allegedly. We're not commenting on any of this and we don't want to get sued because we've got no money anyway. But yeah.
Get sued for our rodeo.
But get sued for the rodeo. There was the whole Liverpool trophy parade. The car ploughing through it. That honestly, in itself, I couldn't believe that happened first off. Right. But then, I don't think it's been confirmed, but it was confirmed that it's a 53-year-old. And I think it was just a case of road rage. So it wasn't a case of terrorism or anything like that. I think it was just a case of road rage, or maybe there was a fight beforehand. That's what the reports are saying. Obviously, I don't know that. Whatever it was, it's just insane because on my personal Instagram page, right, on my feed, 20 to 25 people I knew were there.
Yeah.
Bro, Suki was there, Jeevan was there.
Yeah, I know. I saw all those people.
So
I was going to go there as well,
many
but I didn't
people.
go.
Yeah, but do you know what? I don't think you should be going to... Not even just before this incident.
Yeah.
I would just say anyway, it's just a ladai that bro.
It is, but the reason I didn't end up going is because I saw videos that New Street was fully packed out.
It was.
Like,
that in itself is
concourse.
weird, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, why?
Because people were trying to get to Liverpool.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, so you know how many people turned up to the parade? 1.5 million.
Right.
Is
that a crazy number?
Is 1.5 million not a crazy number when everybody...
I don't know. How does that compare to other parades?
Well, it doesn't.
You don't have the stats?
No, it doesn't, because 1.5 million people in the city centre.
Was it the biggest? Like, what are you trying to tell me here? What is the biggest? Go on, before you want to chew your own.
No, of course it would be.
What is the biggest trophy parade audience? Is that the right question?
It'd be Argentina's World Cup, but other than that,
yeah,
Argentina, when they won the World Cup, that the people just turned out to the streets. Like, it was about 5 million people, I think.
Oh, okay, so it's not the biggest then.
Yeah, but then in terms
1.5 million is not that much.
So 1.5. The point I was trying to make to you is how crowded it was, and the fact that you couldn't get in out of Liverpool, right? So that was the main reason I didn't go. Even in New Street, it was jam packed to the point that you couldn't even move an inch on the concourse.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I didn't go.
No, of course.
Yeah.
Do you know what was disheartening for me even more so? Obviously, like, maximum respect and wishes towards all those victims and whatnot, right? But rather than us as a country focusing on this being a bad event, do you know what the whole rhetoric was coming out of this? BBC News, within 20 minutes, it was literally, I remember seeing it on the app as well, and it was all over Twitter, it was all over socials, TikTok, whatever. It was like...
White male.
White British male, 53-year-old.
And do you know why that was?
Yeah. Of course.
So I think it's a good thing
to stop riots.
Stop riots. We've at a point now where, as a society, we're at a point where if anything bad happens,
these reform voters were literally gagging.
Yeah,
that they say it's a Muslim.
Exactly. it's almost like, you want to riot. So the whole point with the reason they sort of released this information so early on is because they've learnt lessons from last year when Southport attacks happened, when that kid had sort of like murdered those girls, and it was all of a sudden word was out on the street that it's an asylum seeker, it's a Muslim asylum seeker, and there were literally riots. People were turning up to hotels where asylum seekers are kept and like setting things on fire, essentially calling for people's lives. So I think what the police have done here essentially was a good thing, in to say like, look, this is the ethnicity, but to the fact that they even have to do this, because generally under like normal procedures, the police would not reveal who it is or their identity. They just say like how old that person is normally. But with this one, they felt compelled because essentially this society, as I said, I keep saying it, as a society, we're at such a low point now that
we are,
populist
sort of
views
agenda,
and all of that. But like, if
identity
anything
politics
wrong happens, it's instantly black Muslim asylum seeker. This is the rhetoric that's been created in the last 10 years in this country, to the point now, if anything wrong happens, it's almost like you want to take somebody's head off straight away, the first brown person that you see.
I do think that train is moving towards reform becoming party leaders.
Yeah, I mean, reform, ultimately, I think reform will fail, essentially, right?
Do you think?
No, it will. Parties like reform do fail, right? Especially in a
not
country,
always.
No, they do. Especially in a country like the UK, they do. Trust me. They
didn't in Germany.
No, they didn't. Yeah, but is the AFD really reform level? I think they are, but Germany's a bit different, for example, right? UK is historically been a bit more socialist, okay, yeah? People ultimately do understand the right from the wrong. Reform have had their moment. They've had their moment with the local election, but when push comes to shove, it's not quite there. They are too extremist, and people...
Yeah, now, but in 4 years, the story might be different.
It could be different. They are already trying to mellow themselves down a bit now. Nigel Farage saying he'll sort of unfreeze the winter payments, and they'll sort of, they're sort of appealing to the Labour voters that are more left-wing, essentially, that are not so nuts, but essentially saying that, they'll stop the two-child policy as well. But all of that, I think, really, ultimately, when you're a party that's led by a buffoon, that's what Farage is. It's a private company as well, up until like not too long ago, essentially, right?
Really?
Yeah, it is. It was like Farage's company, essentially, the Reform Party. It used to be the UKIP, but look what happened to UKIP, for example. Right? So I'm hoping that Reform will follow a certain...
No, but he'd retired and gone away and all this.
Yeah, but then all of a sudden there's a lot of money from the right-wing sort of political sphere, and then he's come back in. That's how Tommy Robinson makes a living, These people make a living by just inciting hate in other people, right?
But going back to Liverpool, obviously, you said the rhetoric, what's the narrative? There is this thing about racial identity, black, white, Indian, whoever. But there is a lot of like distrust in the media as well. So some of the comments what I was seeing is that, why is it not labelled a terrorism attack? Right?
Right.
Why is it not terror? Why is it not... Obviously, we know the reason why, because it wasn't politically or ideologically motivated.
Yeah.
But you can tell that people are really, distrust what the media is saying.
What the media say, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what other comments were? Wait, one second. What other comments were like, oh, we've released the information that it was a white male, aged 53, within 20 minutes. If it were a Muslim, that information wouldn't be released for 6 hours. So it's like, you can't win.
No, you can't win with that. That's nonsense. The moment there is like literally a person of colour involved in any crime, the first thing that fucking comes up is Muslim person does this, or Muslim this, or like...
By the way, white doesn't even identify... you can have white Muslims.
Yeah, no, but that's what they were saying. Like, a lot of the comments were about like, oh, I bet you it's a Muslim guy who's converted.
This is what I mean. Like,
this is nuts.
There's a huge portion of society now that is just gagging for this...
Yeah, sort of...
This shit show.
Yeah. Just going back to the incident, so you reckon it wasn't... What do you reckon happened like?
We don't know yet. We can't really speculate on anything. It could be a terror attack. It could be like a right-wing nutter who's just sort of driven through. It could be just like a rival fan who's just had it.
It could be someone who's pissed. It could be a rival fan. It could be... when I say pissed, it could be literally someone who's drunk. It could be someone who's like an old timer.
The police had to step in to like protect that person, because he almost got killed at that point, didn't he? I think people were just bashing him or something.
I think when idiot people are allowed to drive, they panic. When you're in like an unfamiliar city or area...
But you don't drive through a crowd like that.
You've got this level of panic.
I don't know, that was a bit next.
Yeah,
and if you go through
that drive was done with intent. Like, you can't...
No, because they stopped. They stopped at one point. If it was done with intent, they would have kept going.
No, I think he got dragged out. That's why.
So you think he just lost control in a flash, but then came back to his senses?
That's what I said. I think people that are stupid don't know how to drive. They turn into a wrong road. That increases panic. Right? They see a wall of people, more panic.
Yeah.
And obviously, when those people are banging on the mirrors, the windows,
Yeah.
they want to get out there fast and quick.
Yeah.
And the only thing that you can do, an idiot person who's not thinking with their brain, is going to drive through.
Really?
So I think it was panic. It was an idiot that doesn't know how to drive. They panicked. They didn't know how to sort of calm themselves down in that situation. When you got people smashing in your windows, what are you going to do?
Yeah, I don't think it's any of that. I think it's just done with intent.
It can't be done with intent.
It is.
The guy stopped.
But that's not for us to speculate. That's for the courts to decide and the jury to decide, I suppose. But yeah, it's been unfortunate. It's been a dampener on what's been what was a great day for the city itself. For the club, everything.
Well, not necessarily for the city, because half of the fans are Everton fans.
Yeah, but still, the fact that Liverpool were hosting this event was a big thing for the city.
For half of the city, yeah.
Yeah, no, it brought in a lot of revenue for the city as well. That
Okay.
whole parade.
So you're talking for the council now?
Yeah, I'm talking for the council.
Right, okay. Another story I want to talk about is Diljit.
With his
Dosanjh
manager.
parts way with long-time manager Sonali Singh after a decade amid serious claims of financial mismanagement and brand misuse.
She's been sort of credited with his rise to fame, from an Indian singer to superstar, global superstar. So that's the background it comes from. Diljit acknowledges the fact that she's
helped him and whatnot,
instrumental
in
his role, in his growth essentially. But yeah, that's it. What's your take on it? Does that surprise you or not? Or mismanagement from managers and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, you're seeing 7-8 million roll through every day. I'll just take $500,000.
Yeah. But as a manager, for example, presumably these managers obviously have a percentage, a cut of everything.
100%, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And normally I think it's 10% or something.
10%, but she wouldn't be on 10, she'd be on more.
Possibly, yeah.
She'd be closer to 20.
Possibly, I don't know. But then the fact that, you're bringing that money in still be substantial because what revenue...
More than substantial. She's looked after. She's on these PJs, private jets. She's, backstage access to everything. She's there.
She's literally his shadow, essentially.
She's there. So what more do you need?
But by the way, this is what's been alleged. Nothing's been
allegedly
said. Yeah, so
allegedly.
we can't go off.
Strong thing to allege, though, isn't it?
But Diljit's not made a comment or anything. He's just sort of strict.
And also, when things are going well, right, and you are literally, he is top of his game now. He's doing Coachellas, this, that, and the other, breaking barriers. He just did what was that event? Met Gala, right? So why change things when they're going well?
Yeah, so no, I'm not
so
saying...
So it does point to something negative.
No, does point to something negative, but we just can't assume that this has been the case because it's out in the media. Until something concrete comes, until Diljit says, well, yes, this is X, Y, and Z, until he sues her or something, normally, if that's the course, if somebody's embezzled money from you, you would obviously go sue them, essentially. That's what Akshay Kumar's done, apparently, to Paresh Rawal, by the way.
What?
Akshay Kumar
suing
Paresh Rawal, because Hera Fairy 3, they were shooting for it.
I saw an interview of Sunil Shetty saying that they're not going to do the movie without Paresh Rawal.
Yeah.
I don't know how that came on my feed, by the way.
But nuts though, because they were shooting for it apparently, so it was announced, and Akshay Kumar bought the rights to produce the film, as also he'd invested money.
Right.
And then, for no apparent reason made known yet, there must be a reason, Paresh Rawal walked out of the film.
Yeah.
Right, and he said, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And that basically stopped filming because you can't really have a Hera Fairy 3 without
Babu.
Yeah, right.
Babu.
So, and then they've tried to convince him. He said, look, I've said no, I'm not coming back. So all of a sudden...
So wait, what's the financial thing here?
So Akshay Kumar is suing him for 25 crore, which is about 2.5 mil pounds.
Yeah.
Essentially because he's invested in the film. His own money.
Because he's walked away.
Yeah, so essentially because that film can't be made now. So he's suing him for that.
That's crazy.
It's nuts though, because... there was a recent interview with Paresh Rawal. They were talking about the film and how it's going, and he was saying, and then the interviewer asked, would you consider Akshay Kumar your friend? He was like, yes, I would, but then he changed it. He was like, no, actually I'd consider him, but there's a difference between colleague and friend.
Colleague.
Yeah, there's a lot
That's what the sidemen, Ethan said as well, didn't he?
What's that?
One of the sidemen said that about the fellow sidemen, and it became viral UK news. And when that was said, yeah. That's interesting. I think the difference with us is we're friends, right?
Colleagues, mate. When it comes to...
Why did that get really awkward then? Why was that really quiet?
I'm definitely...
Why are you going on your phone, bro? Why are you avoiding this? This has gone so awkward. Yo, what one, lads?
It's an associate, like not.
It's an acquaintance.
Oh, okay. It's a person I've known from uni. That's it.
It's a person of interest.
Oh my
It's a person of minimal vested interest.
Yo, Gary Neville was banned from the Nottingham Forest game to commentate.
Yeah, that's nuts, man. That's like Marinakis has gone crazy, man.
That's
Marinakis
crazy.
is losing it.
Evangelos Marinakis, the
Evangelos.
Forest owner, marched onto the pitch, spoke animatedly with Nuno Espirito Santos following the late goal by Leicester in the 2-2 draw earlier this month. Gary Neville obviously commented on it in his standard I'm the people's person manner, and he probably saw that and said, fuck you.
Yeah.
You ain't even getting in the building anymore.
That's nuts, man. You know what? Like, you can't.
So the owner saw Gary Neville
criticize
him in the media.
So what did Gary say about the owner?
He said, oh, mate, you need to chill out. This guy has literally taken your squad from like relegation spot to Europe. You need to chill out, this, that, and the other. The owner was a bit embarrassing, right? The owner obviously saw this. The owner contacted Sky Sports and said, I don't want this band in my stadium.
No, basically Sky Sports asked him to cover it, and then normally you need to get a license from the club to like be able to comment on the game, and they didn't issue it to him.
Then what ensued? So he left the club?
No, he's a commentator.
No, so, okay, what happened? So he said, get him off.
So basically, it became news that this commentator wasn't allowed at the game.
Because he previously criticised the owner.
Yeah.
So
it's the first time this has happened.
Yeah. It's a bit, tin pot dictator behaviour sort of thing. But that's nuts, though.
That is nuts. Did you see Jurgen Klopp defended Trent?
Yeah. What about it?
No, I thought that was cute.
Jurgen Klopp, seeing him back at Liverpool healed my soul, man. Honestly, he's such an incredible person.
Right, that's a bit much.
Too much.
It's not much.
A bit much.
When you see him there enjoying it, like with Arne Slot and stuff, it's so like heartwarming to see that. Right. It really is. Right. Seeing him there at Liverpool.
Oh, friend.
No, but like, come on, being serious, right?
Yeah.
There's not many people that I would aspire to be.
I can't take this seriously.
Why can't you?
Is this the type of content we want to be doing?
No.
Right, okay.
No. Literally not.
Who's the one person?
I know that clip I posted of you when I confronted you on this you might walk alone thing. That was beautiful, man. That was some of my best work on this pod, I have to say.
Okay.
I actually have to say, because I had you dead to rights and you were like, and you were just done.
Right.
Do you know what? That was, I'd slapped you, you offered your other cheek, I slapped your other cheek, and you didn't know what to say.
Right. Cute. Anything else there?
I don't know if you guys saw, but we have our new Harry Potter, Hermione Granger, and Ron.
I saw that literally.
Have you seen the new cast?
Yeah.
We finally have an Indian Hermione.
Is she Indian, that lady?
I don't know, but she looks Indian.
I was going to say.
She looks Indian.
She doesn't have Indian.
Loads of people have been saying she looks Mexican. I'm saying she looks Indian.
She doesn't have an Indian.
Is it confirmed she's Indian?
No.
He just said that.
She's got a proper British name. She's probably like from middle upper classes and whatnot. But she fits the description of how Hermione was described in the books as having brown eyes and bushy dark hair. But obviously, we've got an Indian Hermione.
Whoa, hold on. So, if I remember correctly, Emma Watson, right, doesn't have those features when she was cast. So why would you up in arms?
No, she did. She had very bushy hair. She's fitted the description to a T.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I'd just call you out on something quickly. Just
do you not remember Hermione's hair in the first movies? Is that hair?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough, but the cast, it seems the three main characters are now done.
Yeah, but Indian Hermione.
Yeah.
What spells do we want to see this Indian Hermione dishing out?
Very bad tuna up in that.
Jadoo tuna.
If I Google some of the famous spells from Harry Potter, I'm just trying to see if we can put a Dissy twist to any of these. Lumos.
Lumos is the light one.
Yeah, how would you Dissify that?
Lassie.
You tried.
No, what else are you going to say? Let's see, man.
Let's see.
A glass of lassi will fill up.
Aloha Mora.
Aloha Mora?
Yeah. How do we Dissify that?
Can you print it?
No, don't be doing the job of content.
Yeah, don't cut that one out.
I ain't cutting shit out.
No,
Wingardium Leviosa.
Kadi Gosia? Lombard Direct.
Petrificus Totalis.
That sounds like something Amrit would say.
Gaminio. That's a good one.
Yeah.
We finally got something similar. What about Crucio? Crucio. Confringo. Stupefy. Avada Kedavra.
None of these can be Punjabi.
Expelliarmus.
I can't.
Exterdipendiarmus. Nah, I don't like. Alright, well, anyway. But yeah, anything else on the new Harry Potter cast? Everyone's just saying, they've started building the whole set, by the way. Did you see that on some random road?
It's going to be, presumably, in the UK, right? Or...
No, I think it's in America. They're making an English road in America.
Right. They can do that, by the way. Films,
No, they are. I know I sounded very, sarcastic there, but I wasn't. They actually are.
Oh, it's actually being filmed in the US?
Yeah.
That's nuts,
Yeah.
That's a big production to be going to the US.
Yeah. It's a few $100 million just for this first season. Yeah, it's a 10-year commitment for these guys.
Bro.
Be like a $4 billion project across the 10 seasons.
What blows my mind is the amount of money that's been made from somebody's idea, man.
Yeah.
Billions.
Yeah. It's the most sold books, I think, more than the Bible.
Yeah, more sold books even. Like the merchandise that comes with it, the film rights.
The studios that are opening up. I think there's a new studios that has opened up recently.
Yeah.
And they had the whole, the Ministry of Magic, when they go into the little things and they evaporate with the green powder stuff, the fires. So they've made a whole set for that, and it's actually crazy. Like the fire goes through, you walk through. It's crazy. It's like nuts. I would love to go.
Where is it?
Orlando, I think.
Oh.
It's not like the butterbeer.
The butterbeer is fire?
Yeah, it's fire.
Fire. Have you ever had it?
Nah.
You should go. It's only in Watford.
Yeah, I know. I probably will go at some point.
Yeah, the butterbeer is...
I'm not really overly big into...
We should get butterbeer for this pod. It would actually slap. Honestly, I promise you would be like addicted to it.
Is it like really sweet and stuff?
It's really nice.
Sweet.
It is sweet.
Like a cream
It's
soda.
soda. Honestly, it's up your street.
Right, okay.
It's up your diagon alley.
That's his itinerary for the weekend now.
Yeah, he's going to do it.
He's stolen it.
Yeah, 100%.
Weekend, I'm busy actually.
Yeah, what happened, by the way, we forgot to discuss. Well, you know what, we might as well just discuss this. Let's talk about, obviously, we've got the Duke of Chandigarh coming out this weekend. By the time this episode airs, that would have come out. Right, Duke of Chandigarh is coming out. Banger, in my opinion. Absolute banger, I can't lie. I'm really looking forward to the response. But remember when we did that whole trip and then you were literally like, I'm going to come back in the next weekend?
Yeah.
Why did that not happen?
Just life, mate. It's been busy.
You shit yourself, didn't you?
No.
Do you want to tell the viewers some BTS here now, yeah? When we were there in the tent, so obviously we were in the back main room, which we show you. You were at the front, on your little fucking manja, because you thought you were cool, right? And you thought you were this fucking gatekeeper of the lighthouse and whatnot,
There's LED torch.
Torch, all this, all that. You got gassed to next levels, right? That torch has been sitting around since, hasn't it?
I actually found it at the bottom of my bag after I was looking for it for a while.
Right.
And I just found it the other day.
You found it the other day. Right. So, like I said, it's been gathering dust.
Yeah.
And, you were, by the way, sorry, going back to the tent, you're there, you're at the front, you're giving it 10 off, I've got the best room, I've got my own room to myself. Little did you comprehend at that point that you were literally at the entrance to the tent. Mm-hmm. So, your bond was right at the front.
Yeah.
Right. And, we'd seen the campsite throughout the day, and obviously we built the tent,
No, I was scared.
And you wanted to come into our capsule.
Yeah. You wanted to come in. You had this 10-minute panic period where you literally couldn't control your mind, and you were like, lads, I'm sleeping here.
He said, lads, keep the capsule unzipped.
Yeah.
I want to be in close proximity to you.
Yes.
In close proximity to you.
You did say that, yeah.
So I didn't say close proximity.
Those are the exact words.
Those were your exact words. I verify that.
No, they were.
No, Amrit, I don't think you realise how shook you were in that moment. Mm-hmm. Just explain what was going through your mind.
Nothing. I just thought, like, the fact that, because I've never camped before.
No, okay. Amrit hasn't.
Yeah, and you guys were equally scared of...
Production hadn't either.
Yeah, and you guys were equally scared of not sleeping in the front, by the way, may I add. Right?
We weren't scared.
You're
the one that chose to sleep there.
You chose... Literally everything was fine, everything was set.
We were fine.
You were just trying to change what was agreed upon.
No. The first thing we did when we set the tent was run to book a space in that little mini cab, right? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we shotgunned our spaces?
Yeah, that's fine.
Amrit, listen, stop.
That wasn't out of fear. That was just out of...
Amrit, just explain, why did you want to have the zip open?
Because initially, as I was explaining, I've never camped, right? And I thought the very idea that somebody can just unzip your thing and just walk in and
Take your chicks.
according
You
to
thought
the
somebody was
open-
going to open that tent and take your cheeks.
No, I thought you could you could have a serial killer on the fucking campsite that just walks in and goes.
Are you that much of a pussy, bro?
No, I thought that for about half an hour. Then I walked outside around about 10 p.m.
Yeah.
Because I was looking for my ring.
And you saw all the lights had gone dim.
No, and then I saw.
Oh!
Right? And then I was walking around and I was like,
His torch.
and I thought it was actually calm. So I went back to sleep.
Yeah, it's calm. Oh, so calm.
Oh, it's my first experience going camping. Oh, no.
What was wrong with it? That's it.
Oh, nice. Oh, I've got a nice mattress.
Oh, I went back with my torch. It was all calm. Oh, no, sorry guys, ignore me. You don't need to open the zip anymore.
Please.
You guys done?
But yo, I just wanted to acknowledge that for 10 minutes in that tent, I've never seen you that shook.
No, and you were equally shook.
No, I wasn't.
Amrit was
None of us were
playing
shook. We were literally so tired.
Amrit
We were
was-
like, Amrit, just shut the fuck up and leave now.
Yeah.
Right? And
Yeah.
you wouldn't...
So if I had said to you, Aman, you go sleep outside.
You know what? That's the most scared I've ever seen Amrit.
Yeah.
I've never seen such a pussy version of Amrit in my life.
Pussy.
And he's a pussy.
Pussy.
Right.
That was crazy.
We were next to you and he
We
wanted,
were
he wanted to
literally
share.
It wasn't even this far. This is further away than what you were.
Yeah. What's your point?
But point is, bro,
For half an hour, I was a bit scared. Yeah.
You're ready to have
if someone was going to come in and take your cheeks, I would have joined them.
Right.
He would have got his other one ready.
Mahatma Gandhi.
A cheek for a cheek.
But yo, anything else? You guys haven't actually seen the finished product yet, but you know, you've seen the intro. Have you seen the intro yet?
No.
Should we show him the intro now? I don't know if I've got it though.
There you have, bro.
I have, to be fair. Oh,
I'm actually really excited to see this.
really? I can't believe you. This is gonna be crazy because the video will be out by this point. I'm only going to show you the intro.
The quality is amazing.
3 brown boys are about to do the most non-brown activity, camping. Inspired by the famous Duke of Edinburgh challenge, they will be completing an expedition, setting up a tent, cooking for themselves, and staying outdoors for the night. The question is simple. Will they survive?
You know, tensions are a bit high. Jordan, you have royally fucked this up.
How can a black bro, bro, it's a black spot. You guys saw that too much, right? You're not the thinking about it. No, I know it's being made. But
That's a banger though, isn't it?
So we're here for the Duke of Chandigarh challenge.
Now let's play it. Play it.
It's a nice, sunny, warm day here out in Peak District.
Brown boys are camping. That's it. First ever time we're camping. I've got them out into the nature. Look.
That's enough.
Look at him. He's poised. Like he's so confident. What happened?
What happened to this guy in the tent, bro?
What happened to the cooking, to the directions, and what happened in the tent?
Bro, I can't believe it was failure upon failure upon failure. But the tension, yeah, I can't lie. The way this episode's been pieced together, it's
That's a movie.
a movie.
That's a movie.
It is a movie. I'm not even gassed. It is a movie. Are you gassed after seeing that intro?
Bro, I'm excited for it.
You excited? For
I'm
it?
genuinely excited for it.
I'm posting the poster tomorrow. I announce the bitch tomorrow. I can't wait anymore. Yo, last 2 topics. A British man has become the fastest person to run across Australia. William Googe ran 3,800 kilometres Perth to Bondi Beach in just 35 days.
Bondi Beach.
Bondi. Bondi Gitti. 4 days quicker than the previous record holder.
Nuts.
4 days quicker.
4 days quicker. Amrit, if I said to you, yeah,
Mate,
3,800 kilometres.
I can't even run 5k right now.
Listen. 3,800k, right? If you get the world record, you get 3.8 million.
Mm-hmm.
Do you reckon you could do it?
I would attempt it, of course.
No, but could you get your mind? Could you lock in to get that?
It would take me a lot of training and a lot of practice.
You've got 1 year.
You can, how many days does it take?
No, you've got 1 year to train and get ready for the challenge.
Oh, I don't think a year's enough.
Well, 3,800k. How long do you think that would take you?
Well, you'd be struggling to do 100k a day.
To figure it out, then go on. How long would it take you?
I don't know. I can't do maths.
What do you mean?
I can't do the maths, mate. So if you're going to do 100k per day, which is nuts of running, which is like impossible.
That's 38 days,
38
mate.
days.
That's not. You don't need to calculate it for that.
What's that? How many days? is it?
Show the camera you
38 days, bro.
38 days. Okay.
Hold on, what were you doing?
It's gonna
Well, go on. What calculation were you going to do?
3,800.
Yeah.
divided by 100.
100. Yeah.
Why 100?
So there's about
That's not how many days there are.
He's saying that that's how many miles you can do in a day.
No, as in like 100k. That's about 62 miles per day,
Right.
and that's pretty crazy. That's probably going to take you.
No, some people do ultra marathons, like
Yeah.
David Goggins and stuff.
Yeah, but then like you can't to be able to sustain it, like doing all.
So you're saying you wouldn't do? You wouldn't be able to
day.
do it? No.
I think if I trained for about 4 years.
4 years, you need.
Yeah.
Yo, whoever's got 4 milli, put it down.
Crowdfunding.
If you want to see a video, I'll record it for 4 years. I don't give a fuck. 4 years, I'll follow his progress. Send the 4 milli. Right? And if he wins it, I'll take the money.
You take a 20% management fee.
20%, man. Sonali Singh style. I'll take more than 20, you know.
You're going to suspect him of embezzling.
I'll send you to Bondi Beach. But yo, MS Dhoni to retire from the IPL.
Is that
That's the
actually?
question.
Oh, he's not going to retire, man. Did you see what he came out with and said? Like,
Yeah.
if people retire just because they're
He
not
said
playing
if
well,
cricketers start retiring based on their performances, then a few of them would retire by 22.
yeah, that's just. You know what? He's actually turning into a villain
That's crazy.
because he kicked so many people out.
It is that expression, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
He's becoming the villain, man.
The Dark Knight, one of the greatest
Rises.
movies ever. Lyrics on lyrics, bangers on bangers.
Razagul's Destiny.
Ra's al Ghul. That was
The
Batman
first one.
Begins.
Yeah. So the Dark Knight is different, mate.
Dark Knight is different.
Oh,
mate.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, come on, man.
Well, Dark Knight's got his
There it
rival's
is.
daughter.
There it is.
Oh no, that's the
Galata.
third film. My bad.
Dark Knight Rises. That's
Dark
the
Knight.
third film.
Yeah.
Just don't chat to me on this one.
But yeah,
MS Dhoni.
this guy's crazy, man. He said, "Look, I don't know if I'm going to play."
Did you see that graphic though of the states? How many states were in favour of him returning?
Really?
It was like, have you not seen that picture?
At this rate,
We'll just zoom in a bit, but you get the picture. The yellow ones are him.
that they
That
want him
want
back.
him back, yeah.
So Gujarat, Maharashtra, basically north, in all of south, pretty much.
Well, obviously, because from Chennai,
Yeah.
what the team is.
Well, Maharashtra doesn't want to see him come back. Neither does the middle belt. Basically, don't want to see him come back.
Well, it's majority they do though.
Yeah, it's crazy. But he should really think about it now. Like, look, you're 41, 42. You're clearly past it. Don't become the villain, man. Don't be kicked out. Leave the cricket before the cricket leaves you. And the cricket left him.
And Chennai is bottom of the IPL as well.
Yeah.
The table.
And the cricket's left him.
Who's at the top?
Punjab, mate.
Punjab.
But they're not gonna win
Is it Punjab's year?
Nah, they're not going to win it.
Really?
I don't know.
Do you not have faith in Shreyas?
Bro, I don't even watch IPL. I stopped watching it about since.
So then your comment means
2017.
nothing then?
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying. But this.
Well, I'm saying we've got a chance.
Yeah.
I think we can beat Mumbai, unless Bumrah has a crazy spell.
Yeah.
I think we can beat Bangalore, right?
RCB.
The hardest one
Bangalore
is
is the
Gujarat.
Tottenham of IPL. Basically.
The hardest one is Gujarat.
Yeah.
They are sick.
Both their batsmen are like top two, aren't they?
Yeah,
Scoring.
they're sick.
Sai Sudarshan
And they've got that next Bollywood movie villain with some curly hair. I don't know who the fuck he is. He was staring down Hardik Pandya earlier in the tournament. He looks like a proper gunda. But yeah, Punjab, man. Finals on Tuesday, which is a weird day. But yeah,
When's the semi-final?
I don't know.
Well, sorry, the first game of the playoffs.
I don't know.
Oh, nice.
But anyway, anyone got anything else to add on the pod?
Sasri Gal.